Hi, I'm BoredGamer. Hope you are doing well. If you'd like to ask a question during the stream, because we're going to be talking about Star Citizen, we can talk a little bit about Starfield if people want to. There's lots of Star Citizen stuff going on at the moment. There's some leaks I just saw as well, so I might discuss a bit of that. But while I'm going to talk about 3.20, 3.21, 4.0, bit of confusion there. And as I said, anything else that people really want to talk about. Why can't I close Steam? There we go. Go away, Steam. So how's everyone doing? Hope you're well. Thank you very much for the kind words. I am doing pretty well. It's very hot here, very humid rather than hot. That's sweaty, so I've had to turn off my aircon. Actually, maybe I don't need to turn off my aircon. Might warp my voice very slightly, but it does mean got low speed. That might help dehumidify me. Yeah, so I've completed. We'll talk a little bit about Starfield while people are coming in. I suppose that makes more sense because I think it's less important as I specialise in Star Citizen more than anything else. Starfield completed the main story. It took me my original sort of. I was playing Starfield. It was a bit of a chore originally. About 12 hours ish in, it became much more intriguing and a lot more fun, for sure. And the New Game Plus and all that sort of stuff is pretty well done. Sort of makes sense. Quite good fun. There's a lot of stuff to do later in the game, right? And lots of opportunities to go over other things. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to do any spoilers. But yeah, it's pretty well done. And there's loads of stuff I didn't enjoy about Starfield or would prefer to play No Man's Sky or Star Citizen to get my fixes of particular things. Like ship combat is poor in Starfield. It was a very much, in my opinion, just something that connects traveling to it being a space game, but there's no finesse to space combat. It's the most basic of the basic, right? So sort of like there are some ships there, you fly towards them, you avoid them a bit, you can boost a bit, and there's a tiny bit of maneuvering, but yeah, there's very low skill versus reward for anything like that. It's very basic. But the general exploration, the procedure generation nature of the game, pretty good. It's mostly done on the ground though. It's I want to go and see some planets. Cool. I will effectively teleport to a star system, and then I'll land on a planet. And there's a load of cool stuff I can do on planets. To an extent, it depends what planet it's on. Some of them are pretty barren, but there's cool stuff to find on them, right? It's got the Elder Scrolls. It's got the Fallout. Running around and finding cool stuff at quite a large scale, and lots of procedural generation mixed in with that. So quite fun. I'd give it like a 7.5, 8 out of 10 overall. Probably leaning on the slightly lower side of that, just because some of the elements there, like spaceship combat, I invested heavily in that as my character, because I was like, I'll do a load of bounty hunting to make money. That was boring, and yeah, not the most fun. But the general gunplay got a bit better as well. Not all of the enemies are super spongy. It's only a small amount of them that feel mega spongy, like the bosses and ones that are supposed to be triple R'd. Well, they've got loads of health bars, and it's like, but makes sense. Yeah, it's alright. It was fun. Skyrim in space. Lots of refinement to a lot of mechanics in some way, but it's not as intriguing as Skyrim was to me, because I walked off on an adventure in Skyrim, sort of wandered off. Very much in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare's space combat, significantly better, magnitude better than Starfield's. And even Star Citizen's now, when it's in flux, and there's lots of stuff going on with the flight model and Star Citizen, still space combat and general exploration of being able to fly to planets and stuff, hugely better in Star Citizen. But if you wanted to actually have an exploration game rather than a resource management and RPG game, which Starfield, I'd play No Man's Sky. At the moment, No Man's Sky's got the edge on exploration on pretty much any other space game, right? Hopefully, one day, Star Citizen will be, bam, Star Citizen is the game for exploration as well. But we'll see. Thank you very much. Travel the Map, very much appreciated for the donation. The Endeavour is a massive ship. Agreed. There's more to this question, though. Do you think it will actually be used in the role it's meant to, scientific, or will it just be a pirate drug lab? Well, that's one of the roles it could do, right? So, doing science, one of those things is making compounds and drugs and all that sort of jazz, so you should be able to do it as a pirate drug lab. That is one of its scientific roles. There's loads of ways of setting up. Obviously, it can be a hospital ship. But yes, I think that one of its major roles will be scientific research, data crunching, using to analyze anomalies. But it can also be used as a farm. It can also be used as an exploration ship. It can be a hospital. It can be set up in loads of different ways. So, regarding Starfield, I'm eagerly looking forward to Squadron 41. Me too. The prequel to Squadron 42. Yes, indeed. Would you object to people like yourself getting in lore/in-game representations? I mean, to what extent? A little potato-headed hobbit boy running around. I wouldn't object to it. I just wouldn't see that. I am going to have an in-game presence. It's me. I'm going to be playing the game. Went into my nerd rage voice. And this is my nerd rage voice. It's also, if you watch the Bandersnatch, it's the same voice he uses in that. I appreciate all the kind words. Thank you so much. CitizenCon right confirmed. So, just before we started, I saw on Star Citizen leaks, not always the most accurate of leaks, but it is the main source of leaks. It's the most accurate set of Star Citizen leaks we've had from people, for sure, from Star Citizen leaks. So just take stuff with a pinch of salt, and even if they're accurate at the time, they could change. But I saw just before we started that there was a alleged email from Erin Roberts that went out to a load of people saying this. Hi everyone. Starfield's recent release has given us a massive opportunity. From early gameplay reports, what it's shown, and how much more advanced and sophisticated our tech is above and beyond what we do in Player 2, and how only Star Citizen can and will give all players the opportunity to live and breathe in a huge open world universe. No loading screens, no boundaries, limitless exploration, live the dream. Because of our... this isn't... I've seen emails from Aaron. This doesn't sound like Aaron. Maybe it's one of his interns writing it for him. Because of our tech drive last year with persistence and the issues we had to deal with through 3.18, 3.19, 3.20 is our first real opportunity to really reignite our community's engagement, as well as hopefully start to bring in players who had higher expectations of Starfield. But it does not stop at 3.20 for this year. We've got the huge opportunity to continually improve our experience through our 3.20.1 patch, so 3.20.1 for CitizenCon, and our 3.20.2 for the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, ending with our 3.21 patch for the end of the year. So 3.20.1 CitizenCon, 3.20.2 Intergalactic Aerospace Expo in November, 3.21 ending the year. Let's remind our community why they invested their time and money in Star Citizen. Let's build their excitement up again as we go to the first CitizenCon in 4 years. This is an opportunity we cannot miss. That's all I saw of that particular email leak. Take it with a pinch of salt. It might be bullcrap. But it's quite possible that that's the plan. I have a video coming out today. It's a podcast I did with Zim, where we talk about the viability of 3.21 versus 4.0, and we came up with, well, doesn't really matter what we get at the end of the year when we're talking about features, because all that 4.0 means is that it will have pyro, server meshing, and jump points, right? So when we talk about other features, we're going to get all these features at the end of the year that I'm expecting to be in 3.21 by end of year. So bounty hunting, for example, I'm expecting by end of year. Stuff like that. And there's a load of other stuff as well. And if 4.0 was ready for the end of the year, then it would all go into 4.0. That's all going into 4.0. If it doesn't, then it would just be 3.21. Yeah, so there's a bit of communication, and there was loads of rumors and leaks that 4.0 would be, or they're attempting to get it in by the end of the year. And then obviously Cloud Imperium's messaging has been a 3.21 patch. They're not necessarily fully mutually exclusive either. Like, they could have 3.21 planned by the end of the year and have a master modes test or a limited Evocati test of 4.0. So, hi, I want to offer promotion of your channel, viewers and followers, and chatbots. Oh, I'm good, thank you. I think this is some sort of ad or bot ad. I'm good. Appreciated. But as long as that 3.20 doesn't become yet another 3.18, I don't really care. So, 3.20 is a TOC patch rather than a tick patch. So they're not pushing a load of new content on us. They're not pushing a load of new features. They are repairing a load of the features, and they're making everything sort of work well. They're polishing everything. They're doing a load of quality of life stuff. They're getting their cards and their houses in order. Yeah? So, and they're addressing a load of long-term problems with, like, player invisibility, hopefully, and a lot of the desync, hopefully, and loads and loads and loads of other bug fixes as well. So, 3.20 should be in a great state compared to what we've ever had before. Certainly since 3.18 broke everything, right? You failed me, somebody. Don't worry, it's all good. Look, I'm a bit of a capitalist. I appreciate the hustle. People come in and they offer service. It's reasonable as long as it's not spammy. It has to be relevant, though, right? You come in and you just go, do you need some deodorant? Oh, maybe I look sweaty. Maybe that would be relevant. I'd sell the best deodorant. Go to bestdeodorant.com/BoredGamer. Boom! It's a new sponsor. Oh, wouldn't that be good? Wouldn't that be good? Hey, space guy, you look sweaty. That's how the advert starts. That'd be great. Very relevant to my audience. Oh dear. We got here. I'm really enjoying the PT at the moment. It's performance-wise, it's a lot better. Typically in the PT, you have great performance anyway, but it seems to be getting better and better and better since 3.19. Performance has shot up for me. Please feel free to ask question in brackets and then ask whatever you want, sort of thing. What are your thoughts on the Spirit series of ships? So we're expecting the Spirit C1 and A1 coming out with 3.20.1 or 3.20.2. One of those patches, almost certainly. That's the plan. I love them. Like the C1, I think will replace my Cutlass Black for my daily driver ship. I think they basically solve the same sort of problems that those ships do, but the C1's obviously the sort of cargo multi-role variant, very, very similar to like a Freelancer or a Cutlass Black. And then you've got the A1, which is the bomber variant, which I think is going to have a lot of use in the game. Yeah, I absolutely, I love the way they look. See how they look in reality, though, once they're actually complete. Thank you very much for all the kind words, genuinely. I did, just for a record, I certainly did not think that... Originally, I thought Starfield was a bad game. I was like, 6 out of 10, yeah? It wasn't great. It wasn't awful, but wasn't great. Played it after about 12 hours, got into it, much more enjoyable, completed the main story, closer to an 8 out of 10. But I also appreciated it for different reasons. There's stuff that I was like, oh, the space combat's terrible, and I don't feel like I'm exploring in my spaceship. I feel like I'm going to locations that I've marked elsewhere or in my spaceship or part of missions and just sort of teleporting there. My spaceship is almost irrelevant, although still important to get up to a certain level. Also, realised I didn't really need to make my own spaceship or buy any more spaceships. I got the starting spaceship put one module in the middle to make it longer, and then put a couple more weapon systems on it, and upgraded its gear. And that was it. In about 10 minutes, I'd done all the spaceship tweaking I needed to do. Oh, long time no see! Robert Johnston! Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate the sub. Hope you're doing well. Robert Johnston originally paid me to tell me to go F myself. It's very, very kind gentleman to support the channel for quite a while. I hope you're doing well. If you ever want to hit me up outside of game, mate, feel free to message me on Discord. Happy to chat. That's kind of open to everyone, but I mean, he's given me so much money. I feel like, you know, I'm obliged to chat to people that give me lots of money. Most release dates are extrapolated by content creators. CIG didn't specify end of year for 4.0, right? So, according to the leak on Star Citizen Leaks, they did. So the leak on Star Citizen Leaks suggested that it was for end of year. In fact, I have it screenshotted somewhere. Bear with me. Speaking of 4.0, it's still on track for EOY, end of year. Maybe not fully live, but PTU or other end of year patches. That was the Star Citizen leak on it. So they said that typically that would have been emailed in from some source, or that would have been overheard at Bar Citizen or whatever. But they did not cite source. But with rumours and leaks, you must clearly represent them as rumours and leaks. And you see that very much in my video. We'll talk about rumours and leaks and that we don't know. Take them with a big pinch of salt. Is there any news about the price of the Hull C in-game already? No, because it's not available to purchase in-game. It'll be available to use in-game with 3.20, but it will be the next major patch, so end-of-year patch, 3.21, that will make it purchasable in-game. Hopefully, the Vulture, many months, supposed to be 3 months later, it's only going to be now purchasable in 3.20, which is a bit of bullshittery. Gifted 5 BoredGamer memberships. Thank you very much, Robert Johnston. That's genuinely appreciated, sir. Some people have been forcibly subscribed to my channel via the YouTubes. I hope you will enjoy. So, using the join button or becoming a Patreon gets you an occasional bit of some occasional exclusive content. So now I play a load of other games when we're sort of chilling out at the end of days sometimes as well. And when we're supposed to be working, we'll play something like an escape roomy game or something interesting, some sort of co-op thing. We also in the evenings, with a load of other mates, play something random like Roots of Pacha or Sunhaven or lots of other stuff. And sometimes we record this. Might start doing it with some board games as well. I'm an avid board game player, which is originally the BoredGamer name was going to be board games and computer games. And then it just started focusing on Star Citizen because I was really enjoying it. Once I got my new place, I might genuinely start do board gaming content. But I'd probably do that on a second BoredGamer channel, probably. Probably not on the main one. If it wasn't the main one, it would be in addition to all other content. What do you think about the new keybinds? Oh! CIG's key bindings and randomly... Oh, it annoys me so much. So, what's Mobiglass now? Oh, it's F1. Oh, no, it's not F1. It's Tab. Unless I'm in the cockpit of my ship, in case it's still F1, although it will be Tab eventually. They move stuff around. They just go, oh, there's a new keybind that will take up that now, and we'll move this one to right alt LP or something weird, and I'll be like, oh, okay, but that's how I wipe my visor. And what's on wipe visor now? Oh, wipe visor now is thumbs up, or so it'll be something weird. It's a mystery to me. It really annoys me. I've my boomer brain now when it comes to key bindings, and like, why can't we have the old key bindings? Also, there's just so many buttons and stuff, and oh my god. Yep, that's my rant on... You asked, to be honest. going to be fun doing our new tutorial with 3.20 if we do one with 3.20, because all the buttons have changed and my brain will be like, what? Oh, God. I'm fine with them refactoring all the buttons. I just wish they'd waited a bit. They just keep on doing it seemingly randomly, and they sort of go, "Oh, that's I just oh." But eventually, they're going to get rid of it being F1 in the pilot seat to be mobiGlass. It will be tab in the pilot seat as well, unless you're playing Arena Commando, in which case it's scoreboard. One of your best mates, yeah, say Zin, yeah, for people's like 40th birthdays, we're getting old. What do you give them? How much do you spend on them? What are you supposed to do? I thought I was gonna buy us just a load of wine and then like some computer games, maybe some nice steak or something. Just bam, boom. I don't know what you're supposed to do. So, Zin and I's birthday are really close to each other, yeah? So hers is on the 25th, and mine's on the 26th of March. Yeah, don't use that to build a profile of hacking into my accounts. So, and often around that time, other than it being Fleet Week, it's near Fleet Week, Zin and I and a load of our mates do something called PLAN, which is private LAN, sort of evolution of iSeries and these public LANs, that we just go and rent an Airbnb, or something similar, and have our own LAN party and board game thing, and cook and eat delicious foods and sort of party. Yeah, I mean, it's not really a party in the same way that you'd consider a party. I mean, we're all getting older and being quite lazy. It's sort of like a, you know, an old people's party. Say old people. There's obviously a lot of older people watching my channel than us. But we do that every year, pretty much. I mean, sometimes do it 2 or 3 times a year, but often around the end of March we do it, and it's always our birthday as well. But Zin is a year older than me, so it's her 40th this year, or no, this time in March. I'm not sure really what I should do for a birthday present. $1 per year. I like you, Sketch Therapy. That's a great idea. Oh, and I'm not giving them some money to build a space game. $600 million is a bit too much. A bit beyond me. Do you have any good guides for HOTAS pedal setup? I don't, Jockcop, no. Noobafire probably does. I've not seen any specific. Nothing comes to mind, unfortunately. What I will do on my website again is once we have stable controls for Star Citizen, I will start putting guides out for lots of stuff like that properly. I don't want to have to constantly depreciate guides and get confused and sort of blurred. Yes, yeah. Unfortunately, I do not. Robert Johnston, thank you very much. That's very much appreciated for the donation. Sketch Therapy, again, thank you very much for continuing to become a bored citizen. Using that join button, very much appreciated. Robert Johnston, 4 hours in Starfield was meh. 20 hours in is okay. Does show how spoiled we are in Star Citizen, being able to walk and out of our ships, in and out of our ships, and buildings at our leisure with no loading screens. They're very different games. So, yes, it does. So, the no loading screen, or the very small amount of loading screens just loading the game up and crashing and loading the game up in Star Citizen is fantastic. Yeah, the no loading screens, the seamless nature, the being able to fly around in space, explore space in your ship, and be able to fly to planets and move around planets. A seamless experience around a real planet, a physically simulated planet, which you just don't get in other games, really. And it's highly detailed. space combat in Star Citizen is going the right direction. You can see that because they could have super simplified it like they do in other games and like they do in apparently Jared's on my screen, like they do in Starfield and stuff. But that's not what people want from Star Citizen. They want a very, very high spec, high skill ceiling, not a bit of a boost with the skill floor, sort of space combat game, yeah? You want to feel like a badass when you're flying around in your spaceship when you're doing combat, yeah? Even if you're not great. But you want to feel like you can do well. And that you're a badass. So what? YouTube are trying to run ads. I'm going to skip those ads. Bam. That's how much I love you. I go, don't need money. I want money. I need money. Skip those ads. It's because how important it is for me to talk. But yeah, so Star Citizen does a load of stuff right, or it looks like it's going to be doing it right. But the development cycle and the length of time to build Star Citizen compared to Starfield, which is a lot more shallow, but it is complete. Yeah, and it's got a lot of awesome stuff going on in Starfield as well. So I'm not shitting on Starfield at all. But oh yes, see cruise control. Oh god. What should be you personally looking forward to coming out? Pioneer, because I love base building. Endeavour, because I love the science stuff. Banning Merchantman, because I want a floating sort of space mall. Loads. To be honest, it's all of this stuff coming together, right? That's the most important. And being able to have all those mechanics and they all affect each other. How will server meshing work? One server for each system. The star ports would be chaos for getting a hangar with the amount of players, or are there multiple servers for each system? So, basically, at the moment, no server meshing, yeah? One shard, one server, same thing. Each shard is on one server. And that's the whole star system. With server meshing, static server meshing, which is the first step, you basically split up individual sectors and go, this is run by an individual server, and those servers on that shard, so you can have like five servers on a shard, and they seamlessly share data between each other. Yeah? They're sort of stitched together. Meshed, if you will. And static server meshing, so you go, this area is defined as this, and this is run by a server. So, and you have multiple shards, each made up of 5 servers each. Yeah? That's how that's going to work. So, effectively, you could have, rather than 200 players on a shard, you'd have 1,000 players on a shard. But obviously, they could break it down so that there's 8 servers running each shard, and just divvy up the space differently. Eventually, you're going to have static server meshing, which basically goes any object container, be it a room, a planet, a ship, area of space, space station, whatever, and be a server on a shard. And they spin it up and down, those servers, basically dynamically based on population. Robert Johnston, I can't even look out the windows of my luxury house in Starfield. Off to bed now. Keep the noise down. Good night. I wish I had chosen luxury house for my character. Vishal. Yeah. I thought that was I like the idea of having the mortgage or whatever, but yeah, interesting. Thank you very much, Robert Johnston. You are a gem, a legend of a man. Thank you very much. Good night. I will not be keeping the noise down. How much in dollar bills, yo, will it be for Hull C? So it'll probably be $25 over what it is now. So let's have a look at what it is now. Give you a rough estimate of how much I think the Hull C will be to buy. Pledge store, ship upgrades. Hull C. Hull C is $350 at the moment. So yeah, $375, probably around that. Quite expensive now. I would get it in game when it's available by the end of the year. Obviously, it'll be flyable in 3.20, but let's talk about server meshing. Rumor has it the Toronto team is working on persistent hangars, with work finishing at the end of this month. When do you think we might see persistent hangars in game? So you say rumor, it's on the roadmap as the one of the teams is working on persistent hangers and something else. Persistent hangers and something else. I can't remember what it is. So is it the North American Universe, NAPU? Freight elevators and persistent hangers. It's the North American Persistent Universe gameplay feature team. And the problem is that their schedule is only being shown up to sort of towards the end of September, so it might require more work. They only brought it up to end of Q3. But they are working on persistent hangers. They are working on freight elevators. Looking forward to persistent hangers. Cool. We've gone through all those. Thank you. I appreciate all the kind words. Thank you for all the subs and donations as well. I apologize if I have not mentioned them all. What will happen first? Squadron 42 release or Tottenham winning a major trophy? I do not follow much of, I assume, football. Is the development for both of them slow? Prediction for the Hull Seas price increase in Play Store 400 to 420. Okay, yeah, Eminence, I can see that. I'm hoping it's only going to be about $25 more. It is possible it is more than that. Do you think them wanting to seize the moment will lead to them announcing more than they normally would at CitizenCon? I mean, they're going to be announcing quite a lot at CitizenCon, right? It's going to be a super hype event. They've been holding a load of stuff back from the road to CitizenCon, which is, as I said, the dirt track to CitizenCon, because it literally just takes away stuff that we would otherwise see. Server meshing equal holy grail. No multi-billion-dollar backed AAA studio is going to convince their shareholders to devote the dollars to fund and develop to invent this technology. Yeah, so Star Citizen's development cycle and development as a service, is what it effectively is incredibly unique. You wouldn't have Star Citizen in the scope and to its achievements to date without the way it was monetized and its community, for sure. So unique development. Hopefully, we'll make a unique and compelling game. I'm loving Star Citizen on paper. I love the Star Citizen project, what's and all, for sure. And I'm really interested. Server meshing is essential, or something similar, to making it an MMO, which is what Star Citizen at its core is. So, space sim, MMO, combat game. You can argue whether it's combat, but there's a huge portion of combat important to the game. Ben Rees started with a cutter and moved up to a Connie Taurus, which I love. What's your personal go-to ship you can't help going back to? So I obviously love the Macro Stamina. It's my favourite ship by far. There's an excuse for me to use it. I'll use it. But the Cutlass Black is my daily driver in a lot of situations, just as it's very easy to get on board with. Can do a bit of everything in game. Like, relatively tanky. What are your personal thoughts and feels about the loss of Port Olisar and its replacement? I mean, it needed to be replaced. Obviously, Port Seraphim gives it all of the new features and mod cons, as it will, of all the other stations. So it still looks relatively Port Olisar-like. I mean, I'd salute Port Olisar. It gave us our early steps into space as a platform to launch our ships from and all that sort of jazz. Super important. Is munching going to be in 3.20? No. Salvage munching is not there. Could be in 3.21, though we don't know. Since 23 again. She's okay with her age. She is not a... She's not a stereotypical woman, Isinia. The belt she let out on comms earlier today shook my bones. And she said she saved me from a belch as well late on that. She said it was like her spirit left her body. So you didn't hear that, did you? So nope. Any speculation to where the IAE will be held this year? Oh, I don't actually know. That's a good point. Question, is the Argo Raft with the tractor beam and its attachments working? So, Argo Raft will have a tractor beam eventually. Ship scale tractor beams aren't in game yet. You can move the 32 SCU cargo boxes around there in 3.20 using a hand tractor beam. That is temporary until they have ship scale tractor beams or larger tractor beams. Are you going to build a Star Citizen ship in Starfield? Probably not. I'm not the most artistic. I can paint stuff in real life. Like, I paint models and collect stuff for 40k and things. But I'm not great with stuff and things. What's your personal feelings on Star being replaced? Was it really necessary? I mean, the Seraphim station does capture a lot of what Port-Lasar was, but they did need to update it to have all of the stuff for like bounty hunting and all of the sort of station features. If Port-Lasar had just been a random rest stop station, not a low Earth orbit, low orbit station, then probably wouldn't need to replace it in the same way anyway. I'm not a fan of racing in Star Citizen. However, Zin and I will be doing some races for 3.20 stuff. We're trying to see if we can get into it. We've got some other friends that love the idea of Star Citizen racing, so we're going to be playing around with that. I am hoping that CitizenCon this year is going to be fantastic, but as I said, they've starved me. They've gone, oh, you're going to have a lovely birthday meal and birthday cake, and what we're going to do is we're going to starve you for a week leading up to your birthday, so you really enjoy that meal. That's what it feels like. I'm going to enjoy the meal, I'll tell you that. When do you think, if you care to speculate, we'll see expanded bunkers? So, expect to see updates to bunkers in 3.20. It might be little tiny ones, because they've sort of changed it all to the new system, to Rastar and everything properly. It might be so it's going to be minor updates there, because it's more them just refactoring it and moving it over to the new system. But 3.21, we could see some updates there. They are working on larger scale underground facilities and building interiors as well at the moment. Don't know when they're going to come out, but you'll see updates to bunkers and more modular pieces to them, and sort of look better and make more sense in the future. Would you be willing to do a moderator and buddies race competition for funsies? No way! Not with the mods! Yeah, that sounds cool. That's probably actually quite a good idea. Because you're aware of our misgivings. So yes, Samietti, we'll chat on Discord. Get some other people. I only want people to race that are bad or racing or haven't done it before. It can be, as long as you're very bad or you haven't done it. Do you think the lack of content from Star Citizen is worse than any other year we've had so far, due to CitizenCon being 2 days instead of 1? So the lack of content is not as bad as we had in like 2017 and 2016 and stuff. Like there was genuine drought for months. So it's not even nearly as bad as that. But at the moment, it's worse than it should be because of CitizenCon. Yeah, for sure. Dirt track to CitizenCon. It's not the road to CitizenCon, as I said. Any Port Alsace send-off parties planned? No, but I probably should get one, right? We should do something. Please explain to the newbies why the grey market is a terrible idea. Okay, so there is a place called on Reddit r/star_citizen_trades. Okay, use it at your own risk. I'm not your dad. Read if you do want to do any trading there, whether it's buying or selling stuff, read all about it. Clan Imperium does not support the grey market. It does not outright ban it, but it does not support it. There are black market things which are not supported by CIG, but are against their terms of service and policies. So some stuff on the grey market moves over to black market stuff, or stuff that's entirely against policy. So bear that in mind as well. Problems with the grey market: you might buy a ship or something off the grey market cheaper than you would be able to get it elsewhere, or whatever, because someone's selling their account or ships on their account. Stuff might be stolen. Stuff might get reverted. Stuff might lots of things. Basically, you might end up where you don't have your money or your ship that you purchased, but for one thing or another. And so you have to like buy from trusted traders or middlemen or whatever. So, no. Could there be scammers on there? Yes. Are there scammers on there sometimes? Yes. It's pretty well regulated as places go, though. So if you are going to use it, read up on it, understand what you're doing, and be prepared to lose your money if you do something wrong, or if there's a scammer. Do everything you can to minimize that. That's what I'm trying to say. That is why it's a bad idea. I have bought stuff on the grey market before. So I've bought skins, a couple of flare items, something for a video. I think I bought a Mercury Star Runner once. And I would only trade, and again, it still carries risk with the sort of high-rated stores there. I met a guy went to an I series, so big LAN party, where there was a bar citizen there. I was very, very drunk and tired. But I met a French guy that had basically bought a house with the amount of money he had made from Star Citizen trades. That was his thing. He'd did a load of Star Citizen trade stuff. It was a middleman and shop on there. Made tens of thousands, potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars. Ridiculous. I think it was tens of thousands. At least that's what he said. What's your go-to fighter? I love the arrow. For ease, sort of Super Hornet. I love the idea of the Saber. Saber on paper is probably my favourite. How complete do you believe that Squadron 42 is, and how big a portion of CitizenCon will be dedicated to revealing progress to us after 3 years? We don't know if anything's going to be revealed at CitizenCon. I'm hoping there will be. There's obviously stuff on the roadmap that suggests there will be Squadron 42 reveals. I think that Squadron 42 is in its... I think it's sort of a 90% complete phase, but I do think that last 10% can take a long time. And that's assuming that Clan Imperium don't decide to refactor anything. There are core systems that are probably close to 80% complete because of core systems not being completed. The flight model with master modes and that sort of stuff is not done. Might not be that much left to do. And obviously the resource management system. Those are the two major things that are needed and then polished for Squadron 42, as far as I'm aware. Do you think we'll see some form of VR support in Star Citizen? So, basically, once a couple of devs have said, once Vulkan integration's in, they will, even if it's in their spare time, look at getting VR integration in-game at some point thereafter. Some people have had great experiences with the grey market. Other people have not. Just be very aware of what you're doing and who you're trading with. Make sure you're following all the best practices to not lose your money. Which ship would you like to see a buff made to? Mustang Alpha? At the moment. Used to be my favourite starter ship. Now it sort of feels it's too paper thin. So someone said I might be a good dev with my knowledge of the game. I'm terrible with anything dev related. What I'd be good at would be doing what I'm doing now on a company level for CIG. So literally going, what are all the different teams doing? Cool. I'll work that out and I'll put that in a report that everyone can then know, or as a video that everyone can then know what their role is in context and what they work towards that week and how it fits into the pie, how it fits into the puzzle piece. Yeah, what they did, how that relates to all the other teams that they may not even know about. So you did this, that is this is doing this, this is what the company's working to, and then lots of other company stuff and sort of company use and about their barbecue and all that sort of jazz. Yeah, that's what I'd probably be good at. Where's the official price of the Hull C? So if you go the latest price, you can see if you go to the pledge store and then upgrade your ship, you can see what the Hull C is currently valued at, which is $350. When's Pirate Week, and what ships do you expect to have Warbond? That's a good question. Probably Gladius, Caterpillar, and then other ship, and then lots of Drake ships, right? So Pirate Week is the 21st. So starting the 18th of September is when I expect Pirate Week, because the National Talk Like a Pirate Day is the 19th of September. So expect a pirate sail and some push of playing Pirate Swarm and things like that. Do I play as a pirate and do I like PvP? That's interesting. I do not actively pursue PvP and piracy gameplay. I do like them though, and I will participate with them. I just don't do it actively when I play at the moment. I'm much more likely to be on the lawful side. I'm too soft-hearted to be a pirate. You think they do Star System System Universe stuff day 1 and Squadron 42 stuff day 2? Maybe. We don't know. Is the problem. They haven't given us much indication. Well, Port Seraphim looks great from the outside, but there will be better look on the inside to reflect areas of space they're in? All stations look the same. It looks very much like any other station from the inside. Do those stations... I think those stations want to be similar, right? Because they want them to have all of the same facilities. Yes, they could try and make them look more unique and give them better signage. Potentially. The landing zones, the planets have those unique flavours, though. I'm not attending CitizenCon this year, or at least I'm not planning to yet. I don't travel well. It's all the way in America. 2-day event. I'll be drunk for the second day, or hungover for the second day. I prefer to cover it from home probably this year. I just think I'll get better coverage. Plastic Deaths, thank you so much. Long time no money. Is it me or CIG being lighter on the new ships this year? Smaller and less of them seems like a good thing for the backlog. Yeah, quite possibly. Well, lots of variants and smaller ships for sure, and vehicles and things which are like the Storm, which are easier to do. We'll have to see what happens for Intergalactic Aerospace Expo and CitizenCon. Although there was a Star Citizen leak that the Zeus M sort of Mark II was going to be the is it the IAE ship or the CitizenCon ship, one or the other. Potentially CitizenCon straight to flyable with the Zeus. So the Zeus looks like a space shuttle. The original Zeus did anyway. and I think was the first, in laws, the first commercial ship to have a quantum drive? Question mark, I believe. But yes, I think that's great. What they're doing for clearing out the backlog of ships, awesome. Get cool with straight to flyable ships. Don't want too many concept ships each year now, but I do like a big concept from CitizenCon or the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo though as well, in addition to everything else. So hopefully we'll see something big still. Better if it was straight to flyable and big, but. Gib Anvil cap ship. Salty Mike and Space Tomato would make a good Star Citizen Hour type show. Call it Salty Tomato Hour. Ah. I'm a big fan of both of those people. I was the artist previously known as Twerk. I despise Salty Mike. Oh no, sketch therapy. Oh, you've already said that you think he's a bit of a salt miner. I really like Salty Mike. Because I feel that he wears his heart on his sleeve and he says stuff as he sees and as he feels it, right? Without anything else going on. He does tend towards him being salty. And a bit of a salt miner. Yeah, but I don't begrudge him for that. I think that's fun. You do not have to agree with me. I love you, sketch therapy, regardless. Treats birds terribly, does he? Okay. He helped me out personally when I was very depressed. Several years ago when we were doing redacting and stuff, when I was sort of at my worst, he really helped me. So, and I like him. I get on with him. He will always be Twerk, indeed. But as I said, people can think what they want with that sort of stuff, especially like not insulting him. You just say you don't like it, you don't like his stuff, and that's what you think. Cool. You're allowed to think that, and I will respect it. Will all 3 X1s release together? Don't know. Probably one at a time, right? They'll create one and then they'll release the others a little bit later. The stuff with the Spirit, they've fortunately got the C1 and the A1 done at the same time, but the E1 might take a bit longer. It will take a bit longer. I appreciate the love, Sketch Therapy. How could you love anyone like you love me? It's a raw, full-throated love. Any news on the G12A? So that's the luxury buggies. Kind of luxury buggies, I suppose. No news of them at the moment. CitizenCon will be streamed live for both days, 21st and 22nd of October. It will be free to watch as well. I'm not sure if I'm doing a watch party or something of it. I'll probably not, because I think there's going to be a load of other content creators. I might jump on other content creators' chat or jump into their channel at some point. But I'll be creating videos throughout the day about CitizenCon, almost certainly. After Squadron 42 is out, how far do you think the PTU or PU will be along? Or should be, because so when Squadron 42 is out, it represents the core of the flight model and the core of all the other sort of combat-based mechanics or anything that's required for Squadron 42. That will be complete, right? So that will be in the persistent universe, skeleton of the game done, then a load of the meat on the game is done from other mechanics that are also already in, and there's a load more development time for the persistent universe. So that's a huge step. I don't know how to quantify and how far it is along, though. So just to be aware, PTU is the test universe for Star Citizen. The persistent universe is PU. So Star Citizen, MMO. That's the persistent universe. Squadron 42, single player campaign. Oh, it's really good to see you here, Plastic Death, as well. It was nice to see Rob Johnston, although he's already gone. How do I upgrade my starter package to anything that has the Hull C? I've already upgraded the starter package to the Taurus, and I'm not allowed to mount it. So, once the Hull C is on sale, you'll be able to upgrade it to the Hull C. So once 3.20 goes live, the Hull C will be on sale again, and you can upgrade your package to that if you wish. Have you counted how many tabs you've got open recently? So, I closed about 5 groups of tabs. So, about 12 there. Another 12 there. About 24 there. 48 open at the moment. But I would say I was close to 100 before I started stream. What else have we got? Do you expect the jump boost pack coming in Star Citizen? So yeah, Starfield had a little jump boost pack, so you could basically avoid hurting yourself from falling or whatever by doing a little boost. Something like that would be good in Star Citizen. Yeah, just a jump pack to prevent you from hurting yourself or giving you a little tiny extra boost when you jump, when you're planet side. But it also could be used to potentially save you from ejecting from your ship, and you need a parachute or something. You need something to be able to survive ejecting in atmosphere, right? But also, I like little jump packs, not jet packs, but jump packs that give you little tiny boost. But also, you could use them in EVA to give you a big boost, right? Really like that idea. You will be able to buy the Hull C in game 3 months later after its release. So bear that in mind. When will the rest of us be able to name the Corsair? I believe it was sold with a name thing a long time ago. Yeah, it probably was. They need to update all that stuff. Because we know that the naming of ships works in-game. They have a system for it. They needed to get it also that it was contextually done properly with the text, and there was lots of weird little bugs in it, like being really small or really big, and I want that level of customization and lots of other customization. I believe they're working on all of it as a package. Don't know when it's going to be updated though, so it actually works again properly, or when all the other ships will be getting it. Does the D12 racer, the G12R, is that the one with the MP? G12R. It is equipped with an EMP. Apparently. Huh. I suspect you can probably remove it if you want to do racing properly. That would be funny as an EMP, right? Because you'd be able to disable all the other races. I don't understand why you're shielded from it. If there's a load of people in G12s all firing off EMPs that are shielded from EMPs, are they shielded from each other's EMPs? There's a load of stuff in Star Citizen they need to get done properly, right? Because I think EMPs from the ships should affect yourself as well. So, but the thing that you can do with when you set off an EMP is you can be prepared and ready for the EMP, so you can turn off a load of your systems or partly power down stuff, so you're less affected by it. Bubble wrap for atmospheric ejection. Nice. How do you feel about Star Citizen Goodies Pack this year? Too expensive. Way too expensive. So $10 to $15 should be the maximum you charge for Star Citizen Goodies Pack, in my opinion. And then I'd buy one. I don't think I can justify $35 for the pack. It's like a new game. It's ridiculous. I'll round about stuff like that. Oh. But don't... You do you. If you want to buy it, you want to support the game for that sort of stuff, great. I'd rather buy a ship. Thank you very much for the kind words. Will they ever get the ship tractor beams working? Yep. I'm expecting it for 3.21 by the end of the year. They are. I'll keep on saying the next major patch until it comes out, and they'll be like, see? Bam. I knew it. I liked the graphics of the Spirits Within, or Spirit Within, even though it was generally quite a bad film. Will we all still be given a free goodies pack like every year? Or so if you bought a CitizenCon ticket, yes. CitizenCon goodies packs have not been through for a while. Have they? You'll probably get some goodies at the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. And occasional goodies just whenever Cloud Imperium decide they've hit some form of milestone. Right. I think we've answered most of the questions and stuff. So, with Starfield, if you've got Xbox subscription stuff, Game Pass, it's free on there. Try it out. If you've got, it will take about 12 hours to get to some good stuff. Okay, if you've got that and you want to invest it, it's a reasonably good game. It's not certainly not bad, but it is Skyrim / Fallout in space with bad spaceship mechanics. So bear that in mind. There's a big fleet battle I did. Lots of fleet battle stuff that I did because I invested a load of points and stuff in my ship and ships and stuff. And it was just basic. It's just meh. It's a bit meh, the whole combat. But yeah, it's good. Pew, 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 pew. Skyrim in space. Pew, 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 pew. Oh, it's a space alien. Well, mostly humans. And then some weird animals on planets. Will there be a wipe for 3.20? We don't know yet. Cloud Imperium have not announced a wipe, but we do know that they wipe if they need to. 50-50 at the moment. Or we don't know. I'd say 25-75. 75% probably not a wipe. That's what I am at the moment. Yeah. Right. I'm going to see who else is streaming. Thank you very much. Oh, the prisoner. Thank you very much for the donation. It's very much appreciated. I like bits. I like money. Basically the same thing. And who else is streaming at the moment? I'm going to send you to the beautiful Maya. For he is a beautiful boy. Slash Maya. Slash raid Maya. Thank you very much for watching. Genuinely appreciated. Thank you very much for all the donations and the subs. We will have a video out later today. Sin and I on podcast talking about lots of different things. It's lots of stuff about confusion over 3.21 and 4.0. Obviously, it does not include the statement from potentially Aaron Roberts that we just learned, but it sort of covers very similar stuff. So, yeah, thank you very much for supporting my content and watching my videos and watching my live stream. I hope you have a great day, and stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe and like on the channel. I was going to say stay tuned, but I don't want you just watch in your chair, just look at the screen until I come back. That would be madness.